What's up, everybody? Welcome to One Set.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are the One Set Podcast. We are here talking WWE, following all the latest storylines, and predicting the future from those storylines. My name is Anthony Irvin. I'm here with my buddy, Jim Green. What's going on, brother?
Dude, it's summertime.
Summer. Shouts out to Bill Burr.
Shout to, I almost called him one of his famous nicknames, and I was like, nope. Nope. If you know, you know. If you don't, the Monday Morning Podcast with Bill Burr, an inspiration of Anthony and mine. Comedy was like our original inspiration. We also credit a lot to the LTG podcast. Shout out Doug McDonald and John Alba. Throwback. I mean,
legends. Yep.
Legends.
We have a lot to get in tonight with our WWE talk. I mean, we have Night of Champions coming this Saturday, and from where we are, it's going to be in the afternoon because they're in Saudi Arabia. So I believe it's starting at 1 o'clock, right?
Yes. Yep.
So it'll be 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 o'clock Pacific time, and we have a couple good things, but we're gonna probably we'll start off with a little bit of our Raw recap. We're not going to go into every little nook and cranny, but just we have 5 things we definitely wanted to get in. So, Jim, let's start off with the intro that Raw started off with, the Oba and Jay segment. Oba comes out and, is basically already kind of claiming he is winning the King of the Ring because not even worrying about Jay. Trust me, I'd be the same way. Who's this guy? I don't care. Just basically saying, once I win the King of the Ring, this is my next step. And then, Jay comes out and does his whole shtick of like, hey, don't count me out because everybody's been counting me out this whole time. They counted me out. And when I was trying to go for the WWE Championship, they counted me out when I was, coming up in the Royal Rumble. So, best come correct. Yeet. Or his new little shtick is, this is your warning shot. Bam. Which, I mean, I'm digging it to a point. I mean, he has to kind of have something else other than the yeet thing. It's all right, but,
like you said, I respect it because it's something new. It's something different. Like, it's fine. Like you said, it's okay. I'll accept it. It's not,
and it kind of honors like the Roman because he kind of holds up the 1 at the end with it, so it's kind of like honoring like a new little shtick, but then honoring bloodline purposes into it. So it's not too bad.
No. Raw kicking off in the O2 Arena in London. Crowd was hype for Obafemi. I mean, just love to see somebody that's coming up as hot as they are and not lose the momentum, right? Like, I feel like right after WrestleMania, it was like, okay, what are they going to do to keep this guy, like, keep this going? Because, like, you got to, like, strike while the iron's hot, right?
Definitely.
So, I mean, it helps that they are hitting these European cities where the crowds are just like, the crowd engagement in general is just so much better. That being said, and we will get to this later on, did you catch the crowd like chanting CM Punk and chanting OTC in the main event segment? I was like, man, they are gassed out of this main event. I actually felt bad for like the competitors in the ring that were just out there doing their job in the main event, and you're out there and you're like, okay, I'm Braun Breaker, and how many months ago was it that I was like walking around carrying the world heavyweight title, albeit he wasn't the champion, but
Right.
they were clearly putting that title on him because they were testing him out to see how fans felt about him being in that position. And now, I mean, the absolute curse of the Vision with the injuries, it's kind of
It's a
like,
shame.
okay, it is such a shame because like it's like, are we wrapping this up? Like, are we done with the
At this point, not getting too further into, the prediction, but yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is like the last little thing of the Vision that just needs to be put in, and then it just starts unraveling. Because yeah, I mean, at this point with all the injuries and trying to get Bronson Reed into it, then he gets hurt, then Braun Breaker, he had his injury. Now Logan Paul, he's out of it, and you're pretty much your mic, mouthpiece of the thing right now. And then, it's good they have him, still out there while he's, recovering, because, he can still just talk on the mic and still do his shtick, which is good. But, there's only so much to this. And now, knowing that with the main event, the Street Profits are now the new tag team champions, at this point, where does the Vision go from here? And especially after what, depending on, is going to happen this Saturday between Braun and Seth, are they thinking we can get more out of this? If they do, I don't know if they just bring it all the way to SummerSlam and that's how it ends. But yeah, it is like hanging by a thread at this point with the Vision.
Yeah, have to agree with you there. Back to Obafemi, the guy is a specimen, right? Like, he obviously is like insane in the ring, and he is like he's the next coming of Brock Lesnar, right? Like, they're literally like trying to basically book him to the strength so that when Brock officially retires, it's like, okay, we still have this monster, albeit he is one of the most over faces in the company right now, right? If not the
100%. Yeah.
Because like even Roman, depending on who you pit him up against, it's like, okay, he is like the face of the company, sure, and Cody's your QB1, sure. But you had like Roman against CM Punk. It's like, okay, you're gonna have a very divided crowd there, because it's like you've got CM Punk, who, like a lot of your like hardcore fans like us, like that have been around for a minute, are like, okay, like we're here for him, but also like we're good if Roman wins, like, and like, but like even right after the CM Punk stuff, it was like, okay, they had Jacob Fatu come in, and it's like, okay, they're like making Jacob Fatu the heel, but like everybody kind like in a way was like, okay, give Jacob Fatu the title, like it's showing promise for the future, right? And it's like, okay, we had those two matches, and now Jacob is just like literally Roman's henchman while Roman isn't around, and it's like,
just like being the messenger, like just like with the Solo stuff, hey, go to Solo. I need you to go Solo and try to get him back on board. So he's trying to get the band back together, but obviously Solo's not having it. We'll go into the LA Knight situation in a little bit, but
Obafemi, back to Obafemi,
finishing up with Oba.
He's a specimen on the mic. Every time he talks on the mic, I'm like kind of waiting for him to have a lackluster, like a weak moment, and the guy just like knows how to deliver his lines, and I'm like, he's
definitely all cylinders right now.
I am listening intently. Also, like I said, like waiting for him to like have a botch, like an LA Knight moment, or like Obafemi doesn't miss, dude. And I'm like, and this guy's just getting started. It's crazy to think about, like, okay, where is this guy gonna be? And we say that, and at the same time, it's like we talked, I think, last week about like these long Roman and Cody like title reigns, and it's like if you keep doing that, you have these guys that are like just trying to maintain upper mid card status in the ecosystem, and it's like, but they're never getting to the mountaintop, right? And we'll talk LA Knight a little bit more. We've talked about LA Knight like kind of a lot. We'll talk about our predictions for Obafemi and Jey Uso when we get to the Night of Champions predictions. The opener was hot. Like, I thought that the show opener for Raw was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of left it with a lot of cliffhangers to, make you feel like, okay, I mean, was Jay a little over? Was Oba a little over? I mean, they really didn't give you a whole bunch to really go off of. I thought it was fine. And, just going because, you weren't going to need them to really get into a physical type thing. Just, give them a few minutes to just go at each other on the mic and then just, give it to Saturday for them to just brawl out,
Yep. We had Brie Bella, Primo, and Paige here, Paige,
man,
defending the women's tag titles against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. I and a lot of other people that I read online were like, okay, this is Lyra Valkyria and Bayley's moment to win the tag titles. Brie Bella and Paige, like, maybe Nikki Bella's coming back. Paige can go have her feud with Liv Morgan. Like, they kind of teased that already.
Yeah.
They don't win. And Lyra snaps and turns heel on Bayley. I thought it was pretty well. Like, I feel like the stuff they did in the ring was really good, and I felt like Bayley pretty much sold it really well. I felt like Lyra was just kind of awkward, and then like awkward on her way up the ramp, and then awkward backstage. Like when
I know what you mean though.
Kathy Kelly was it Kathy?
Yeah,
forget. Jackie Redmond was catching up with her backstage, and Lyra was just like, and I was just like,
I didn't see that segment. All I saw was the Bayley segment where she just obviously couldn't talk, but I didn't see Lyra's backstage. I thought she didn't have anything because you're like, okay, you'll just wait till next week to kind of see her reaction or why she attacked her. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that, it was delivered good, but there was just something, off about how Lyra was, going at it after. It's like you don't know how to act, but you're trying too hard in a way, maybe.
Yeah, or
you just don't know how. You're trying to like find the way to act in the moment of performing it. Like, you don't know how to perform it, so you're like, I don't know. It seemed like she was just confused on how to act.
You're just doing the choreography.
Yeah. So it's like she was kind of confused on how to respond to it. Like, she knew she had to act in the heelish way, but it was more like, okay, it was more not cringe, but like, okay, I mean, we need a little more. You just got done, beating down Bayley, but then you're kind of just like still in a like, I don't know what just happened. Like, you did it,
Yeah. Interesting to note though, like without them, Charlotte and Alexa probably headed towards Splitsville soon, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
The women's tag team division to me seems like it's like slowly starting to fizzle out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're like, okay, let's let the women's tag division like fade out so that we can make room to invest in the men's tag team division that's been just suffering.
Right.
and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We also had Chad Gable come out and call out American Made, Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine. And he delivered a super heartfelt apology.
Yeah, this is something we've been waiting for over the last couple of weeks since he's came back. So,
yep. The change in the theme song was a little bit weird for me. He's trying to get the crowd to sing, and I'm like, okay, they are really trying to get the audience to engage more with like the theme song singing alongs. And like, this isn't really something new, but it seems like they're really making a push for that. They have Javon Evans doing like
yeah. Well, it's kind of like everybody's kind of trying to have their yeet moment now, you know?
Well, and Daniel Bryan with the yes, like he did it
Right.
first, right? Like, so,
yeah.
But like in
You
recent
can't have that
memory,
with every single, thing.
I mean, they have the Jey Uso bit, and Montez Ford and Doc, like the Street Profits.
Yeah, and it's all in how you present it too. If you're trying to force people to do something, they're not gonna do it. But if it's just like how the Street Profits, they just started doing this, but then everybody caught on to it. Now there's like, okay, now we want you guys to do it. So, but if you're forcing people to try to do some type of act during a theme, they're not going to catch on to it unless they're like, oh, that's a cool thing to do, we want to do it too. But if you're forcing it, then yeah.
The problem with like Javon's business, right? Like Daniel Bryan with this, which the Street Profits is literally just the opposite. The emphasis for Bryan is on the up, and the Profits is on the down. And then Jay's is just the swing with the straight arm.
Yep.
All three of those things they could do while they're walking. Javon's swing, like, you're not gonna do this while you're walking down the ramp. Like, it's gonna look crazy AF. Okay, like, just super weird. He's trying to do it in the midst of the match, and I'm like, it's too much. Just like stick to what you're doing. This, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Max, like, Otis takes a second to think about Chad's apology, goes in to extend a hand to forgive Chad. Maxine steps in, cuts him off, and she's like, like, not happening. Yeah. Maxine absolutely delivered on the mic when she was like dropping her lines. I was like, okay,
yeah,
she needs to be studied, because like, just thinking about like the quiet mouse, like just there to be there, like the stuff she was saying not only was well written, but the way she delivered it, it was almost like she was speaking straight from the heart. I was like, okay, this is a home run for Maxine. I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
Interested to see what they do going forward. I know I had mentioned last time, like, hey, is this all a ruse for Chad? I don't like it. I really feel like they're looking at Chad Gable like an opportunity to try to get another over baby face in the equation.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy
based off how that promo went. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point they're definitely moving forward, trying to make him another big baby face, and then, hopefully going after one of the titles, either, taking it off of Penta or, the Intercontinental something. And then, I don't see him going into the main event right now, obviously, because he's not good enough to beat Roman. No. Even Cody, I don't think he's in that type of realm. But yeah,
I would love to see a Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes match. Like, I am here for that one.
It would be interesting for sure.
Makes sense, because they're both like really good ring technicians, and Cody is like pretty good with in-ring psychology and all that stuff. But because Penta's like a baby face, and Chad now, it seems like they're pushing him in the baby face direction. It's like, definitely see maybe Ethan Page taking it off of Penta, and then like who wouldn't want to see Chad Gable take it off of Ethan Page, and that match would be good.
Yeah,
it would be,
especially because you're having Ethan Page. He took the mask off of Rey Mysterio, so he's having that thing going down with the Lucha Libre, where Chad Gable is on the side of the Lucha Libres now. He's getting the respect from them. So yeah, I mean, I can definitely see Ethan Page getting that belt, and then Chad Gable being the savior for that, and then he gets that belt off of Ethan Page. That'll be the big win against that.
And what a pop, and for Chad Gable to finally get that Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
I could see them stretching that all the way to WrestleMania. Like, I would not.
I can see that too, for sure. Maybe,
Yep.
Ethan Page wins it at SummerSlam, and then, you go all the way to WrestleMania with Chad Gable, and then we get the payoff at WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
The LA Knight and Jimmy Uso match, which I thought it came to be pretty good. Did you see the backstage segment with them and Adam Pearce?
Uh-huh.
Where Pearce is like, I got a great idea. He's like, how about LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso right here tonight in London? Crowd goes crazy. LA
you know
Knight's
what?
Like,
I got a better idea. It's going to be LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. I just said that. Well, I don't hear anything he hears. That's great.
Dude, I was cracking up.
It was
right,
good.
All right, LA Knight, good job.
And there's only one way that you can do that without sounding like an idiot. And
LA Knight did it. Yeah,
LA Knight did it to make it seem like he knew that he was obviously repeating it, but acting like it was the first time being said. Yeah, he delivered it the right way instead of making him seem like, oh, you just didn't hear what he said. Like, no, I heard what he said. I just don't want to hear what he says. So
yeah, it's
perfect.
It was really. I was like, LA Knight did the thing tonight. Thank God.
Yeah.
Match was all right. I mean, I kind of figured like, okay, if LA Knight is coming out here kind of like trash talking Roman, having him lose to Jimmy Uso doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
I like missed the culmination of like the match finish. Like, can you enlighten me and like for everyone else, like how Solo Sikoa got in the mix of this?
Yeah. So from what I remember, obviously Jimmy and LA, they're going and they're getting near the end of the match, and somebody's coming through the audience because you see the audience reacting to it. Solo comes up on the turnbuckle. LA Knight gets stumbled off. Solo comes next to Jimmy and kind of gives him like a, hey, I'm here, smile. And then he gives him the little thumb maneuver. And then, LA Knight goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3, looks at Solo in the audience like what the hell was that? And then Solo's kind of giving him the rub to being like, hey, almost probably in a way like, hey, don't act like I never helped you. But
yeah,
hey,
come join the MFTs with Royce Keys.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, I didn't do it for you. I did it more because I'm sending a message to the bloodline that, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get obviously more explanation off of that because I'm sure, it seems like Solo, since the MFTs are kind of moving away from Solo at this point, or they're just like, hey, you need to figure out this whole bloodline thing because from what they were saying on SmackDown, they're saying, your family business is getting in the way of our business. So they basically walked out on him on SmackDown. So, Solo being the person he is, probably figuring, okay, I got to get this all, figured out. So, it looks like we're going to get somewhat of an alliance between Solo and LA. And I still think, there's going to be there's obviously some things building between Jacob Fatu and the Usos. So they're eventually, I think they're going to break away from it. And this is where we're going to get our War Games, scenario. I still think there's another War Games scenario. It seems like every War Games, we have a bloodline situation on our hands when it comes to War Games, but it's like the only other big thing you can kind of get out of it. But, yeah, I mean, you'll get Roman on one side, You'll get probably Solo on the other side with possibly, if not Jay, maybe both Jimmy and Jay, and then maybe the MFTs, and then you'll get Jacob, Roman. Possibly we might get Zillafat 2 at that point.
I mean,
Maybe.
we have to get him before War Games. I say that now. It's June. It could be November, and it's like we still don't know where Zillafat 2. Like I can't imagine that they're going to drag it out that of another 5 months. But
yeah,
who knows? I have no idea. Which is good.
It would be nice, but yeah, it's good that you don't know, because then you can continue to think, okay, when's it going to happen? I mean, okay, this is a perfect time for that to come. So it's not like it's not too predictable, but not too far out of the realm where you can be like, okay, well, I mean, is it ever going to happen? So, yeah, I do think the alliance between Solo and LA was definitely sparked at that moment. So we'll get more idea of what Solo's intentions were, whether he was actually helping out LA or just basically, hey, I have nothing to do with you. I was just basically sending the bloodline a message that, you guys can't control me. I'm not coming back, blah, blah, blah. So
sure. Main event. We had Braun Breaker and Austin Theory defending the tag titles against the Street Profits. I think we both had the Profits pegged to get the win here, and sure enough,
it was a must win for them for sure, because
yeah,
one of those things, like we've been saying, hey, if you don't get this win, what do they do with them after this point? And they've been hyping them up the last couple weeks. They got to get it this time.
What was it all for? And it was, I mean, the writing was pretty much on the wall. Like, okay, Seth Rollins is going to help them for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Going to screw Braun Breaker out of this, and that's going to help kind of segue into their Night of Champions cage match.
Definitely.
We are happy for the Profits, obviously.
Yep.
If you have the Vision now removed from the tag team vortex, it's like the Street Profits and who else?
Exactly. But again,
the Usos?
I mean, other than the Usos, but that kind of leaves more room for places like putting in Enzo and Cass eventually, but things that I've been hearing is that it seems like they're going to start them out at NXT first. So they might run them through NXT to get their ring rust out of the way, so that by the time they're back on the main roster, they're ready to just, start firing it on all cylinders, because, you don't want them to just go in there cold and then, Enzo's going to be off the chain with his mic skills no matter what, but you don't want them to be, coming in with a lot of ring rust. But
yeah, that's so
fair. We'll see. Maybe if anything, maybe they just hold them off until after SummerSlam or something.
Yeah.
Get them down to NXT for a couple months until, the end of the summer. And then, Street Profits hold it. They get the win at SummerSlam. Night after SummerSlam, we get, the big pop with Enzo and Cass. That would be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. Let's move on to our Night of Champions predictions.
Let's do it. I mean, I think it's a pretty, obviously not as stacked as Clash in Italy was, but we have 6 solid matches going on, and we have both. I'm not sure if both the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring are going to be the 2 that are going to be on ESPN. Is that? Am I correct about that? They're putting the King.
I know King of the Ring is.
I know King of the Ring is definitely in the first hour, but I wasn't sure about Io Sky and Liv Morgan.
See, it's a little concerning to me, because if you have if you do the Brock Lesnar screws Oba Femi out and you have Jey Uso win, people are not gonna like it. And then if you have if you have Stephanie Vaquer come in and screw Liv Morgan out of it and Io Sky's wins, People are not going to like that. So you're
I was
literally
just thinking
you're
that too.
literally starting off the first hour of the show on free television, ESPN, and hey, jump over, sign up for the unlimited Like, people aren't going to do that if you're
No.
giving them absolute shit. Like, they're just,
I would much rather see Oba get the win, no Brock interaction, and we get Stephanie Valkyrie taking out Liv Morgan to cost her the match. I think that would be more the realistic thing, because then you can always pay off the Oba and Brock thing, where Oba gets his chance with Roman, and it's his first chance, but then Brock takes it away from him. That's the way that we get the final third match at SummerSlam with Oba and Brock, because he basically takes his moment away from Oba Femi. Everybody's saying Jey Uso because it seems pretty predictable because of the whole Brock Lesnar thing. It definitely is predictable, but I think the better way to bring about, because of the fact that we were just saying, you're not going to have both those matches be ruled because both of them get interfered because of Brock Lesnar and Stephanie Valkyrie. It's not going to be back-to-back like that, especially how you're saying if you're trying to boost both these matches in the first hour and they are the same outcome, nobody's going to be turning over to ESPN because of that. I know I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So if I had to say one of those scenarios, I would give it to the Liv Morgan and Io Sky, because we have more of a payoff because of the fact that Stephanie Valkyrie got injured all of a sudden. So we haven't really got the payoff for Liv and Stephanie.
Yeah.
I would put more trust in them doing that with the women's, because you can have Jey Uso and Oba go a little bit longer, and then you always have a shorter second match in that first hour anyway. So give Io Sky and Liv Morgan 5 minutes or so. Get Stephanie Valkyrie comes out, gives Io Sky the win. Because I think you'll give more of the time to Jey Uso and Oba to, fight it out. Maybe 15 minutes, something like that. If that,
This is where it's tough, right? Because it's like Oba beat Brock in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Give or take some ads.
I mean, I do think that they're not going to have Jey Uso get squashed, right? Like, it's just
definitely not.
It wouldn't do anything for him, right? So,
nope. Yeah, definitely not going to be a squash. Like you said, people are not going to like that for sure. They definitely want to see Oba Femi become King of the Ring, but they have to have some time to, fight this out. You're going to have to give Jey Uso some upper hand, but then Oba just eventually just takes over.
Yeah. I also am just very Liv Morgan wins the Queen of the Ring. She's the women's world heavyweight champion. Like, what are we doing? Like, is she really chasing?
Mm-hmm.
The other big thing here too is you have Rhea Ripley, the women's WWE champion, injured, and we don't know what's happening there, right?
Nope.
So it's really hard to say okay, they're setting up for Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. They might not be able to set up for that right now. So it's
I think that's definitely going to come down to if they're really thinking that could change the outcome of the match, because if they know Rhea's not going to go, it would be kind of weird to have Io Sky facing Liv Morgan for the Queen of the Ring. She beats her and then has to go, beat her again for the championship because
it's strange
because
right?
of Rhea. It's just weird how you would have that. So, but the fact that seeing Liv Morgan being like, you know, a queen of the ring and a champion, it's like almost having like a Becky two belts type of situation, which
Right. Like she could be chasing after, like, we're going to get Liv versus Rhea, like, title for title at SummerSlam. Like, what? I just don't know what that accomplishes.
right.
You have
it's just more
so
street.
many. Yeah, you have so many more women on SmackDown surrounding Rhea Ripley that, like, if Rhea was injured and they had to say, okay, Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair for the women's WWE Championship, go. Like, we'd all be like, okay, we're here for it. Good, let's do it, right?
Yeah, like
so,
if it comes down to a point where, you know, again, like they're holding out Liv with the championship with facing anybody. They're doing the same thing with, you know, at the point Rhea, because we don't know if she's going to be able to compete soon. So it's like, do you vacate the title and then you have some type of match to see who's going to be able to be the new champion? Or I guess they're kind of just seeing how Rhea Ripley's doing, and then this is going to determine whether Io Sky or Liv Morgan is going to win. But I still am not going to put past Stephanie Valkyrie getting involved in that match, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're going with Brock and Io, or
Oba and Io. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Still tough, but yeah, I'm going to say Oba and Io. It just makes the most sense at this point, you know?
Yeah, I almost want to say, oh, they're gonna make us mad, and they're gonna do Jey Uso, and they're gonna do Liv Morgan.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't put it past them for sure. Because, I mean, you know, if we're talking about it, that's better on their product. You know, as long as you're talking about it, they don't care whether they're making the audience mad or glad. As long as you're talking about it on the internet and, you know, putting all this stuff, it's just more attention to them. But, you know, paying off things, it's a matter of that.
Just pause for a second. Because let's just interject and talk about, because I got to come back to this. I'm like, we got to talk about, we intentionally didn't talk about Friday Night SmackDown, okay? Because the show has just been bad for...
It really has, yeah.
It's just... I watched that thinking like, okay, Sami Zayn is a special guest referee between Gunther and Cody Rhodes WWE Championship like title match. We're going on almost 45 minutes of the podcast and we didn't even mention it because it was so like, you know, Sami Zayn does this cheap, quick 3 count for Cody pinning Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther goes to the back. He's irate, and then Cody...
He got all pissed.
Basically called Gunther back out and said, get a referee out here. Get a real referee out here. This crowd deserves a real match. And then Sami Zayn comes out and causes a DQ anyway. I was like, this is just such flippin' trash, dude.
Yeah.
We get the triple threat match for Night of Champions out of it. We get Gunther, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes WWE title. And I'm like, are they going to do anything here? Or is Cody Rhodes just going to keep the belt until SummerSlam?
I think he's keeping it until SummerSlam at this point. I mean, if he wasn't losing in the last match to Gunther...
You're not betting against it, right?
I'm not betting against it at this point. I am sticking with Cody until SummerSlam, depending on what that match is. But Unfortunately, I mean, when they were saying that they are keeping Roman, Cody, and Rhea as their main three, I was like, there has to be something different. After Cody's match with Gunther, I'm like, that's probably what they're sticking with. So if you're a betting man, bet on those three to win until SummerSlam or whatever. I mean, Rhea being injured, it's obviously, they're going to still decide what's going with her. But as far as Cody and Roman, they are not losing those belts anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
unless we get it just feels like a fantasy booking thing at this point, unless you get Brock Lesnar taking that WWE title off of Cody Rhodes and you get Obafemi challenging Brock Lesnar for the WWE title at SummerSlam. I just feel like that is such a stretch, and they're like,
yeah.
And I do feel like they have right now Rock versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 43, Saudi Arabia, as like, if The Rock can do it, but their backup plan is Obafemi versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So it's like
that would be the ultimate.
Yeah. So how do you getting Brock the WWE title and having Obafemi challenge him? Like I do see Obafemi winning King of the Ring, challenging Roman at SummerSlam, and you have Brock Lesnar come out and the night after, like the Monday Night Raw after Obafemi wins, you can do the Brock Lesnar stint.
Yeah.
And then you have you can do Oba versus Brock 3 as the night 1 main event, and then Oba versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title, the main event of night 2, for Oba to do double duty. And it's like, okay, Obafemi can lose to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam because he's banged up from the Brock Lesnar match, albeit he'll win it.
Unless you switch those two, where it's still a main event one, but you get Roman Reigns and Oba night 1, Brock Lesnar causes him the match, and it gets to a point where they're like, okay, this is a last minute match because Oba is upset with how things went. He wants Brock Lesnar night 2, so they call it what they call it in the post show. Oba wants Brock tomorrow night, and they they make it official. So then we get Oba and Brock night 2, match 3, and Oba gets over on Brock.
Yeah,
so then it's not like a long match with Reigns, so he still has enough strength to really go after Brock.
Right. My only hang up with that, Anth, is they're gonna promote that match to sell the tickets. That's my
that's the only downfall. That'll have to be a selling point for tickets.
That's the only reason why I would say they're not going to do that, as much as I would want that to happen, because it makes sense. We've all been waiting for Brock to come out and do this thing. Everybody thinks he's going to do it at King of the Ring and and cross over, and it's he very well may. And then we're getting Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, and nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares. Everybody has their gripes about Cody with the title. Nobody's really feeling main event Jey Uso chasing Cody Rhodes. It doesn't sell SummerSlam for me at all. Now, Sami Zayn wins the WWE title in Saudi Arabia, and Jey Uso challenges Sami Zayn. Is that a big enough WWE championship match for SummerSlam? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
Right?
refresh my memory before.
Sure.
So after Night of Champions, the July pay-per-view is what?
As far as I know, there isn't one.
We do have a Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
You're not getting Roman Reigns and Oba at that for sure. As like, oh, let's do it then. You're not going to get that big of a match on Saturday night main event. Because I'm trying to pinpoint. Okay, so we have one before SummerSlam.
The Saturday night main event is in Madison Square Garden.
That is true. So
but
I mean,
it's still not Oba Femi. Roman Reigns, like we're not getting that happening.
I still don't think you put that in, even though it's in the Garden. It's not a big enough PLE to appreciate that, and plus, being that it's only a 2-hour show, they only usually put about 3 or 4, matches on there, and they're really not that long as it is. So,
I do think Saturday night main event at Madison Square Garden is going to be not about the matches themselves, but about the angles that build to SummerSlam.
To SummerSlam.
I think that's they're going to utilize that, like the Elimination Chamber, getting us to to really kick off the road to WrestleMania, and that's going to be like the pedal to the floor on the gas to really be the last push to sell the tickets for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Cody Rhodes keeping the belt. Okay. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Nobody really wants it. What does everybody want? Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, right? So what do you do with Jey Uso at SummerSlam? LA Knight?
That would be something.
Because they just did LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, right?
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight and Jey Uso. It's a match that can land on SummerSlam.
Yeah, because basically they were saying in either the dirt sheets or somewhere along the line that Jey Uso is a better crowd pleaser than LA Knight. So you can get LA Knight and Jey Uso, paying it off sometime either after SummerSlam or something. That LA can, Jey Uso loses to Cody, and then LA Knight the next night comes out. It's like, oh yeah, I guess you're not the draw that everybody thought you were, and blah blah blah. Then you get LA Knight and Jay. Going at it at that point. So he's like, everything that you were trying to say, like, you're the better person, you're the better. No, you couldn't even beat Cody. So,
yeah, nothing about Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso excites me at all.
Like I said, I don't think Cody's losing that belt for a little while until something along comes to benefit taking the belt off him at this point. It's crazy that it's not Gunther. It's crazy they're not.
It's got to be Randy Orton number 15. That's the only.
That would be the only
really
thing to kind of get it off, and it would be more beneficial instead of just giving it to a random person and starting another cycle. Yeah, it would just have to be Randy getting that 15th.
Yeah, and then Gunther can
end Randy's career.
And take the title off of him too.
And take the title off. Yep.
That
I'm fine with that.
I am too.
Because they haven't really paid off that legend killer persona with Gunther in a little bit, so you can reassure that with that.
Because everybody started catching wind, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, that's what they were doing, and they were like, we're not ending our careers with Gunther. That's not what we want. When people decide to end their career, they usually have their hand pick on who they want to retire them. So, the creative team saying, okay, Gunther's going to be the career killer. He's going to start ending. People don't want to be like, okay, the same guy
The shame
that
guy.
the same guy that retired Bill Goldberg and AJ Styles and John Cena, retired Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio and John Cena and Randy Orton. Like,
Yeah.
they have specific people in their mind that they've thought about their entire careers, or like,
Yep.
okay, when I'm ready to hang it up, I want it to be.
There's always some sentimental, like, parameter to it. So.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to I like Obafemi winning King of the Ring and losing to Roman at SummerSlam, only to win the Royal Rumble and beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. Like, I do like that, because you gotta basically, you gotta put the brakes on Obafemi a little bit, because like, you don't have to put the brakes on him, but it's very like, okay, you put the title on Obafemi, and what do we have? Him holding on to the belt for a long time. We have had that. We've had that. I don't know.
But yeah, you can rest assured that Oba going into the Royal Rumble is going to be the number one prospect to win that thing this year, for sure. You know, I can definitely get behind.
I mean, he has to, right? Like, he's got to be.
Depending on situations, it would have to be Oba winning that Royal Rumble this coming year. Well, next year, but yeah.
It's a lot more of a dominant win than it is the Elimination Chamber. Like, I just, like, gotta say it, right? Like,
yeah, he has to win via Royal Rumble than the Elimination Chamber.
Unless it's Dwayne. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, like, just because, like, we're doing all of this, like, oh, maybe they're gonna hit the swerve on this, and I'm like,
maybe not.
Maybe they just don't. Okay. And maybe it really is just.
And that's what's just continues to make us watch it, because we're waiting for it to happen. So, like, well, if you guys think it's going to happen and it doesn't, end of the day, you guys still watched it. So it don't matter. So you watch it because you're expecting something to happen. Even if it does or doesn't, you still watched it. So thank you, losers.
Losers?
But yeah, so you got are we square that we're both picking Oba this weekend?
Yeah.
And then what do you think with Liv and Io Sky?
Yeah, it's Io Sky, and I think that Stephanie Vaquera gets in here and we get Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquera, SummerSlam.
It just
totally
makes sense, man. It makes the most sense.
Trick Williams is defending the United States title against Ricky Saints. I don't care about this match because I just don't really like the Ricky Saints presentation. Like,
yeah,
I'm just like,
it's a shame that Carmella Hayes got hurt. Otherwise, I would have been like, yeah, I would have been more invested in it if it was Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams.
Yeah, I think they're just saving that for SummerSlam.
Yeah. So, give me that at SummerSlam. I mean, Trick Williams all the way.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Sheesh.
Who?
Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in the steel cage. I think that this is just I know everyone's like, okay, the steel cage match, it's gonna finally. I think Braun Breaker is definitely winning here, and I think that we're gonna get Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam. Like, I think that is the ultimate payoff for the feud. It makes sense. They don't have the Hell in a Cell gimmick pay-per-view anymore. Braun Breaker gets the win here.
Yeah, because, I mean, Seth is again thinking 20 steps forward, like, okay, I'm gonna beat Braun Breaker so I can get to Roman to win that championship back. But little does he know, Roman's not even looking in Seth's way. So, I mean, we got Obafemi in the way. We have, potentially Jey Uso if he wins. So there's a lot of things that are, in front of Seth Rollins. So, yeah, I mean, you could have Braun Breaker beat him via the, help from Austin Theory and Logan Paul since Seth and Joe Hendry helped out the Street Profits to win on Monday, you can definitely, predict that Austin Theory and Logan Paul could cost Seth Rollins the match, and Street Profits, or if anything, Montez Ford could try to help Seth Rollins, but I can see Braun Breaker coming out of the win via the help from the Vision.
They
definitely not a clean win, I think.
I mean, it's a cage match, right? So it's like
right.
No DQ.
Yeah.
They really could. They really, honestly, could have Brock Lesnar cost Obafemi, have Jey Uso go off to face Cody Rhodes, and you could have Seth Rollins win this cage match with the help of the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have Seth Rollins walk out of the cage match and challenge Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. And if it's not the Street Profits, it could be CM Punk going after Braun Breaker. Because I don't know what they're gonna do with CM Punk. That's the thing.
I don't have anything of where they can slip him in at this point right now.
It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Drew McIntyre is waiting to be brought back, but creative has nothing for him. They're not going to give us CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre again.
No. And even the fact that Drew's doing like a movie, I think right now, so he's kind of just soaking that all in.
I think he's done with that.
He is?
I think.
I heard, he's either in the middle of it or just either just wrapping it up. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't really taking any like, oh, I'm going to come back anytime soon because I'm, wrapping this thing up. But yeah, I mean, and even the fact that we have Kevin Owens coming back eventually, he's going to eventually get thrown into the realm at some point, depending on what he's going to be doing too. So, we're getting a lot of wrestlers coming back, and then so I think it's going to help out the situations as well, because with the injuries and everything, it's just going crazy through this roster right now.
Yeah. I mean, if Kevin Owens cost Sami Zayn the WWE title Saturday,
yeah, that'll be nuts.
I mean, because you got Sami Zayn as the heel, and Kevin Owens would be. I don't know if they're going to do it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay. Obafemi winning, Io Sky winning, Trick Williams winning, Braun Breaker winning, Cody Rhodes winning. We have Tiffany Stratton defending the Women's United States Championship against Jade Cargill.
Somehow this is making me think that they're probably going to put it on Jade. Because what have they really done with Tiff?
I mean,
I honestly haven't really been keeping track with Tiff, but she's obviously lost a lot of her spark at this point.
Well, I think part of that is the book. I think part of that's the booking. She had an injury that took her out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can. It's tough because it's like we're gonna get Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair probably. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because say Tiffany Stratton keeps the title, it's going to be her and Blake Monroe, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, that's what makes the most sense for SummerSlam. And it's like, okay, are we getting potentially Io versus Rhea, Liv versus Stephanie, Jade versus Charlotte, and Tiffany versus Blake Monroe at SummerSlam? Are we getting all 4 of those women matches on the SummerSlam card? I know they're trying to stack out SummerSlam to get the ticket sales going.
I would say probably 2 of those for sure. If we're being honest.
I mean, that's what WrestleMania was, except WrestleMania had the Fatal 4-Way women's tag title match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, spoiler, the women's tag team titles are not being defended at SummerSlam, and if they are, it is just for Nikki Bella to come out and turn on Paige, and that's it.
100%. That if that's the way, if that's where they're like angling it at, they're just waiting for Nikki Bella to be back.
Yeah, yawn, dude. Don't.
I mean, I'm happy to see Paige back in the ring, and you know, with everything that's going on with her, glad to see her doing it again. But it's like, okay, we know what's eventually going to happen. They're just waiting for Nikki to get better so they can set this angle up to have the Bellas back to being their healer self, Paige being the face with that. We either get Paige and Nikki at whatever time. I think it'll probably be after SummerSlam at this point. But, yeah, that's in my mind where that's headed. Is obviously you're just going to get Nikki Bella turning on Paige, and because he's not going to turn on her sister again. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be Brie Bella and Paige defending against Fatal Influence. And Fatal Influence is going to get the women's tag team titles because of Nikki Bella returning.
Uh-huh.
They might do that. They might do that at Madison Square Garden for a Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
Because we just named those other 4 singles matches that deserve to be on SummerSlam before the women's tag titles. The women's tag titles got to get on the WrestleMania card. They can take the backseat.
Definitely.
That division is going to fall apart anyway.
I could be down with that.
I just can't see Jade Cargill with the United States title defending the U.S. title against Charlotte, unless if they really want to give that title prestige, because they've had such focus on the women's Intercontinental title. So now let's get some key players in on the women's U.S. title. I just feel like you're knocking Tiffany Stratton down the ladder even further by doing that. Like Jade and Charlotte doesn't need the United States title. Tiffany Stratton at least needs the women's United States title, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely with the way she's been, for sure.
So I'm going to pick Tiffany Stratton for that one.
Well, we always have one that we're 50-50, so I'm just going to go Jade with that one.
Cool. I don't hate it. Because, like I said, if they do go with Jade, then you have Jade and Charlotte, 2 key players, elevating the women's United States title. Wouldn't be mad about it. Just Tiffany versus Blake Monroe, no titles involved. It's just kind of like you're just going to do that on like a random SmackDown, really. Like, everybody thinks that that's a money feud. You might as well get the women's U.S. title on it. I mean, you got Chelsea Green that's like in the mix.
Yeah, she's still not. Is she still technically injured?
No, she wrestled in a Queen of the Ring qualifier match.
That's right, she did. Okay, so she's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you can't keep track of people these days, whether they're injured or not at this point.
But yeah, the injuries have really just like thrown thing for a loop. And honestly, other than our predictions, if nothing else, it feels like they really need to do one of these superstar shakeups. Like they need to just move some parts around. They need to just do something to get the shows ironed out. I mean, they could really use it, especially with SmackDown going back to 2 hours, right?
Yeah. Kind of glad it's going back to 2 hours. I mean, there was just on the fact of it, just being a lackluster, show right now. I think just going back to 2 hours and hopefully them focusing more on the matches and less just, filling space.
Filler BS is what it's been.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting how the arrangement changes in the coming weeks with them going back to 2 hours. So
yeah, give us a draft. It's time to freshen up the shows a little bit. And should we wrap up on that note?
Yeah, man. Those are our predictions for Night of Champions. Let us know in the comments whether you're watching currently or on the replay. Let us know your predictions for Night of Champions, what you thought of Raw, and let us know where you think everything's going. Once again, make sure you guys are following us, the One Set Podcast, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and right here on YouTube. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell at One Set Pod. Hit us up on our email at onesetpod@gmail.com. And Jim, let everybody know where they can hang out with us outside of our episodes.
That is the Facebook group, the number One Set Fam. Come find us on Facebook, One Set Fam. We do all of our community interaction there. Come hang out with us. We've got a good thing going on there. Would love to see everybody there.
Yeah, shouts out to all our One Set Fam.
And I am hoping for at least a B+ show for Night of Champions on Saturday. If they do that first hour nonsense, it can't.
I mean, it's in Saudi Arabia, so they're pitching to have some, pretty good things that they're looking to have WrestleMania here next year. So they're ironing out some things like, hey, if this little thing goes good, wait until you see WrestleMania. So this is not only just selling it for us, but selling it for Saudi Arabia, for people to go to Saudi Arabia for next year. They got to at least hit a B for this weekend.
That's a very good point. So we should expect at least one WTF moment.
Hopefully.
What that is, we will talk about it next week. Podcast. Yep. Anth, I love you, brother. To everybody,
love you too, dude.
all the love. This has been One Set.